And now, Cold Case Files, an ABC 10 News special.
I can't see an angel without thinking about Andy.
If they want to give him the chair, let me pull the switch.
My Uncle Joe, today, he would say, forgive the person that killed you.
Hello, and welcome to an ABC 10 News special, Cold Case Files. We're here in the Cold Case Archive Room at the San Diego Police Department, where boxes upon boxes of files with information about the department's cold case homicides are stacked on shelves. These cases are never forgotten. Everything in these boxes has been digitized and is available to the investigators working the cases on their computers at a moment's notice. Over the next half hour, we'll take you through some of San Diego County's most mysterious unsolved murders, including ones that to this day haunt the investigators trying to solve them. The first case we'll look at involves the life of a cab driver cut short while on the job. He would have celebrated his 48th wedding anniversary with his wife this year. It's a case ABC 10 News first covered in April of 1992. ABC 10 News reporter Sierra Encinas explains how one witness could be the key in solving this decades-old murder.
In life, finding your true love is something special.
That's very sentimental to me. I got them all over the house, on the table, there.
Mariola Jones is one of the lucky ones. She found that special someone in Jackson Jones. Now, the memories of the love story are left in pictures and cards that fill almost every space around Mariola's home. Jackson Jones was murdered 31 years ago, April 27th, 1992. On the 27th day of every month, Mariola still calls detectives, hoping, praying there was an update to his case.
They didn't have to take my honey away from me.
Mariola says Jackson was a hard worker, carrying 2 jobs to help them get by. During the day, he worked for a bank, and at night, he would drive a taxi cab. The two had a routine every night before Jackson would leave for work.
We always said a prayer at the door, and he said he loved me, and he'd be back in the morning.
She got the news her husband was found dead. He was shot once in the jaw and once in the head. Tony Johnson is a retired senior investigator at the district attorney's office. He's hoping to provide answers for the Jones family.
So it's right around this area right here.
Johnson says there are new leads that have popped up over the past 3 decades, but he can't talk about specific details. He says investigators have retraced the night thanks to a witness who saw commotion shortly before the murder.
Mr. Jones got a dispatch call to 4560 60th Street. Now, all we know is that a female called Yellow Cab and gave that address.
The witness told investigators she saw Jones and 2 others arguing in a parking lot on 54th Street and El Cajon Boulevard shortly after.
From her account, the argument was loud. It was enough to attract the attention of everybody in the parking lot.
A short time later, Jones's body was found inside his taxi cab, not too far from the parking lot. It was right across the street from Crawford High School. The witness was able to help investigators create these 2 sketches of the suspects.
These police sketches were drawn up based on the eyewitness description.
But investigators say they're so generic, they could be anyone. The murder is a painful memory that Mariola Jones doesn't like to think about. She says answers won't give her a sense of peace.
Not really. Not until both of them are in jail. And if they want to give him the chair, let me pull the switch.
Until the case is solved, she says she won't stop calling investigators.
A researcher on the brink of a medical breakthrough gunned down outside his home along with his 13-year-old daughter. Their murders have gone unsolved for nearly 30 years. What separates this case from others is the rare type of weapon that was used. ABC 10 News reporter Perla Shaheen reveals how the gun will be crucial to helping investigators solve this case.
It was a warm May evening in 1996. Dr. Sunow Sato was driving his 13-year-old daughter, Luli, to their secluded neighborhood around 11 o'clock at night. When they pulled into their cobblestone driveway, they were shot and killed.
We were just so devastated.
It was a bizarre tragedy that devastated an entire team of scientists and a community.
In the case of a stroke, probably 50% of cells, they may be killed.
Dr. Sato and his team were working to learn more about the brain. His coworker, Phyllis Lesson, says he was on track to make a major breakthrough to help Alzheimer's patients. 26 years ago, Phyllis Lesson was the assistant chief of the Alzheimer's Disease Research Center at UC San Diego.
He was just a wonderful man, and they figured if anybody would get a Nobel Prize from the research, it would be Dr. Sato.
She says she found out about the gruesome murders on the news and the next day at work.
We were inundated with news cameras.
At the time, investigators thought the killing was a professional hit because of the shooter's marksmanship. While officers were still digging for clues, ABC 10 News cameras rolled as his widow and the teen's mother spoke at the services, thanking the community for their love. But loved ones never expected the case to go cold. Lots of theories were presented, and people like colleagues and his wife were ruled out as suspects. To this day, investigators have no leads. Tony Johnson is a retired senior investigator at the district attorney's office.
No leads at all, except I would like to talk about the firearm that was used.
The gun used was a Grendel P12, a gun that was only made 1991 to 1994, and one that Johnson says is rare. He says people walking by found Sato's car in the middle of the street with Sato partially hanging out of it. Johnson thinks it's possible that more than one person was behind the murder, and those people can be tracked down.
We have a partial DNA profile from some of the shell casings that were fired. The technology has improved to such an extent that we can get DNA from fired shell casings.
Johnson says it's enough to make a match if they can find a potential suspect.
This is a real whodunit.
Shortly after the murders, Johnson says an entire team was dedicated to test firing as many Grendel P12s as they were able to find in the city, in hopes one would match the murder weapon. But at this point, none have. This next case involves another love story turned tragedy. A husband and wife found stabbed to death in their Bay Park home back in May of 2009. Barry and Carol Sandberg had been married for 30 years and were avid motorcyclists. A bloody knife and other physical evidence was found at the scene. Investigators are optimistic new advances in DNA technology may bring some renewed hope in solving this case. For Barry and Carol's loved ones, this fresh look at their cold case means everything.
The family just wants justice, and so do all their friends.
I think about my sister every day. I dream about her and the things that we used to do.
The couple's biker friends still wear patches on their jackets in their honor, their lives far from forgotten. An elderly widow murdered on Christmas Day. More than 4 decades later, her daughter still searching for answers.
It's almost like she had a premonition that something bad would happen.
Investigators believe the mother of 2 was the victim of a burglary gone terribly wrong. ABC 10 News reporter Madison Wiles shows the evidence left behind may hold the key to solving this case.
My mama, she was so nice.
It's been more than 40 years, and still the holidays never feel the same for Rita Castro.
I had just talked to her the day before, and I said, "Are you sure you don't want me to come get you?" She goes, "No, I want to ride the bus. I'll be there." I said, "Okay."
It was a lunch to celebrate Christmas that Rita's mom, Martina Serpa, never made it to.
And I kept calling her and calling her on the phone, and she never answered.
Where an apartment building now stands in Little Italy was once Rita's childhood home, the place that became a crime scene in late December of 1978.
I walked in her bedroom, and she was laying in the bed. She was covered up, but you could just see her like this much of her. And I knew that she was gone. I could just tell.
It was obvious that it had been basically a burglary gone bad. The kitchen window along the side of the house had been basically pulled back and out. There was a footprint in the sink, which is right underneath the window.
Retired senior investigator Tony Johnson with the San Diego District Attorney's Office met us where Martina was murdered. The mother of two was 70 years old, widowed, and lived alone. Neighbors at the time told a local newspaper Rita was afraid she would be a target for crime.
Well, it's kind of funny. It's almost like she had a premonition that something bad would happen. She locked her doors. She had no visitors.
Investigators say to solve this case, they'd need to get a hit on the DNA from evidence they have stored. And right now, that DNA is their best bet as technology advances.
Martina had hand ace bandages around both hands. So we're thinking that she would have struggled with the offender, and we do have a DNA profile from those ace bandages.
Bandages that could be the key to answering questions still haunting Rita. The loss left a permanent stain on the season of giving for her.
Every year at Christmas, I get a little bit sad.
Another family wanting to know what happened to their loved one and seeking justice.
A little boy snatched from his crib in the middle of the night. The other crime committed in the neighborhood just before that connects the killer to both scenes. And a beloved liquor store owner gunned down while opening his business. The new DNA technology that could point right to his killers. And the murder of a grandfather, his cold case solved. His killer on the run for more than 3 decades, where police were finally able to track down the suspect. Welcome back to the ABC 10 News special, Cold Case Files. We're taking a look back at decades-old murders that both families and investigators would like to solve. On an early Thursday morning in 2003, a popular liquor store owner was gunned down at his business, tearing a young family apart. 34-year-old Eddie Marm owned Dr. J's Liquor in Lincoln Park.
He was a likable guy. He was a hard worker. A family man.
Retired senior investigator Tony Johnson says they have surveillance video of 2 suspects rushing Marm as he enters the store, forcing him into a back office where he was shot with a high magazine weapon. The store is now known as Island View Liquor. The inside of it serves as a memorial to Marm. His photo and newspaper articles line the walls.
Somebody might come into the store and say they're $1 short. Well, they would just put the dollar in for people. They gave candy to the kids. I mean, it was a big part of the neighborhood.
Johnson hopes new technology will allow for a possible DNA hit on shell casings left at the scene. Crime Stoppers is offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the killers in this case. The San Diego County District Attorney's Office has its own cold case unit with staff dedicated to solving murders with few leads that may otherwise remain unsolved. The unit recently marked its 20th anniversary with upwards of 125 cold cases prosecuted over the years. I recently spoke with District Attorney Summer Stephan about how the advancements in genetic genealogy in the past few years have helped solve some of those cases. The unit has received 2 grants from the Department of Justice, allowing them to hire a genealogist.
Having one in-house that can look at these cases alongside us and build the connections and give us the leads, it's just been an incredible leap forward for us.
They were able to solve one of the longest unsolved cases in the country with genealogy and DNA developments, the murder of Mary Scott back in 1969. The unit is something the DA herself is passionate about, striving to bring some kind of closure for victims' families.
Why is this unit such a priority for your office?
We never forget about their pain and their stories. And you know, I'm out in the community a lot, and I'm with parents of murdered children and different victim survivor groups. And their pain is very real. It's hard to walk away and not remember that look where there's just a look like a part of their soul is still missing. We can never return their loved ones. But when we're able to give them a call, which I've had the privilege to do myself, it's actually one of the best days in justice. It's like you tell them and you almost can see this weight lifting.
Seasoned investigators often have to put emotions aside as they investigate heinous crimes such as these. But sometimes cases impact investigators on a more personal level. The murder of 21-month-old Andy Valencia is one of those cases. It's been more than 4 decades since the little boy was abducted from his crib in Imperial Beach. His body later found floating in the San Diego Bay. We spoke with Andy's sister, who remains hopeful that police will solve her baby brother's case. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell explains the other crime committed in the neighborhood just before that connects the killer to both scenes.
I adored my baby brother.
Berenice Costanza remembers being 4 years old and obsessed with her baby brother, Andy. She says the two were inseparable, just like they are here in this picture.
If you look at it, like I'm gripping, like I'm holding on to dear life, because he did not want to sit still for that picture. And, you know, back in those years, unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of pictures of him.
Their family spent most of their time living in Tijuana, but their mom worked in Los Angeles on occasion. Those nights, they would stay at a family member's home on Delaware Street in Imperial Beach. On September 6, 1981, 20-month-old Andy, his sister, their aunt and grandpa were all sleeping in the same room.
Grandpa, he says that he kind of sensed somebody was there, but he thought it was either my auntie or I going to the bathroom.
But after some time passed,
he checked the crib, and that's when he realized Andy was gone.
A single window was left open, a shoe print left behind by the person police believe kidnapped the little boy. Roughly 6 hours later, 2 people setting a bait trap found Andy's body floating in the San Diego Bay.
I remember men in suits coming and going, and I just remember asking, where's Andy? Where's Andy?
A kidnapper and killer on the loose left the neighborhood terrified.
Right now, none of us are safe.
More than 40 years later, with no suspect, this case is bizarre, even for retired senior investigator Tony Johnson with the San Diego District Attorney's Office.
Sometimes some of them affect you more emotionally than others, and this is certainly one that affects me.
He calls what happened that night exceptionally unusual.
This is really, I think, a parent's worst nightmare come true.
The killer not only pulling Andy from his crib, but also leaving behind a teddy bear and clothes stolen from a garage just a few doors down.
It's unusual because you would think that Andy would have cried out or made some kind of noise.
Plus graphic evidence showing what the little boy endured.
Unfortunately, it looks like these were human bite marks on his arm.
So we're really hoping that the detectives with modern technology can shed some light and find answers for us.
Especially for Andy's grandpa.
I think he was one of the ones that was hit the hardest just because you always have that guilt.
Costanza remembers the drive to California from Mexico the day before Andy's kidnapping. They passed the same cemetery they always passed, but this time, Andy noticed it.
He pointed to the cemetery and he was like, like, what is that? And my mom said, oh, that's where the angels are. And he said, yes, Mommy, like he was being called to the cemetery.
Today, that's where Andy is laid to rest.
You know, I just really feel like he felt that's where he needed to be.
But his spirit is right by his sister's side every second.
I can't see an angel without thinking about Andy. They're one and the same in my mind.
Next on our ABC 10 News special, Cold Case Files. A prominent businesswoman gunned down at her front door, detectives believing she may have known her killer. And a priest shot in a Pacific Beach motel, the vacation that ended in tragedy. Welcome back to an ABC 10 News special on San Diego cold cases. Nearly 2,000 murder cases remain unsolved in the county, and that means nearly 2,000 families are still waiting for answers on what happened to their loved ones. Here are a few more cases that you or someone you know could help solve. In the early morning hours of March 31st, 1986, Scripps Ranch businesswoman Georgia Heggy answered her front door and was shot multiple times in the head and upper body. Heggy was the owner of a bookkeeping and accounting business and well known in the community. Police say a neighbor reported seeing a single shooter running from the scene after the shots were fired. Investigators believe the killer may have been someone Peggy knew, as they described her as very cautious when it came to her security. A young mother picks up her toddler from a family member's home after work and disappears without a trace until a 911 call from a cyclist the next morning leads police to a grim scene. 23-year-old Maria Cortez was found stabbed and strangled in a field in Mission Valley in March of 1992. Her 2-year-old daughter found alongside her mother unharmed.
I rode my bike into the field. I was expecting a homeless person and I was just going to see if they were okay. But when I got about, I guess maybe 10 feet away, I saw it was a little girl who was bloody, who was sitting on a body, and she just turned and looked at me.
Retired senior investigator Tony Johnson says Cortez didn't have a car and often took the bus or accepted rides from strangers.
She worked hard. She had ambition. She wanted to do something with her life.
Johnson hopes that new advancements in DNA technology might help solve this case. There were a few hairs found on Cortez's body that didn't belong to her.
Any little tiny piece could help. Could give us a direction to go in, could give us a new way of looking at the case. We've met with the family recently. They're very motivated to see the case solved, in particular the daughter, who wants nothing more than to find out who killed her mom.
And one more case investigators would like to see solved involving an unlikely victim, a vacationing Roman Catholic priest found dead in his Pacific Beach motel room in April of 1994. Father Luis Gutierrez was a well-respected member of the clergy in Los Angeles and was about to celebrate 30 years in the priesthood.
My Uncle Joe was a humanitarian, very compassionate.
Nephew Ernie Cooper reflected back on his senseless death and how the family has never been the same.
He was a very good man that was taken way too early. My Uncle Joe, today, he would say, forgive the person that killed me.
Investigators say Father Gutierrez's room was ransacked. They say he was shot once in the head with a .22 caliber pistol. Police believe the gunman was likely a stranger and that robbery could have been a motive. And another cold case solved. He was on the run for 3 decades, accused of killing a grandfather while he was at work. And now an arrest, where police finally were able to track him down after the break. Welcome back to our ABC 10 News special, Cold Case Files. With most of the cases you've seen tonight, investigators are still looking for more leads to solve them. But in this next case, authorities were able to arrest a fugitive who'd been on the run since 1990, just weeks after our story first aired. Police say Gregorio Arturo Quezada Monsivas killed Joseph Fernandez on a fishing boat in Tuna Harbor in San Diego Bay, where he was working overnight as a watchman. The 69-year-old grandfather and retired fisherman was stabbed to death on July 8, 1990. Shortly after the murder, police identified Quezada Monsivas and issued a warrant for his arrest. In 2022, we spoke to the victim's granddaughter, who was just 4.5 years old when Fernandez was killed.
He had spent his entire career fishing for tuna here out of San Diego Bay. And I remember as a little girl, on his days off, he still wanted to come down.
Quezada Monsivas remained on the run for 32 years until he was finally tracked down in Mexico and arrested on a murder charge. He's currently awaiting prosecution. We want to let you know that you can find all of the stories you've seen here tonight on our website, 10news.com, and also through our mobile app. If you have any information you think might help investigators on any of these cases, please reach out to the San Diego County District Attorney's Office or Crime Stoppers. Remember, you can always remain anonymous. Thank you for watching our ABC 10 News special, Cold Case Files. I'm Lindsay Payne.